How's everybody doing out there? I was watching a little Outside the Lines report on ESPN, and they were talking about how a lot of these college athletes aren't getting compensated, aren't receiving payments or money from these video games that sell with their likeness on it, but yet the universities are getting money. Not a video games being sold. And if you're a diehard sports fan, ding, 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 you have to have your video games properly lined up. NCAA basketball, NCAA football, soccer, NBA Live, NBA 2K, and of course the holy grail of sports games, Madden. Gotta have Madden if you're a sports fan. And of course, let's not forget your boxing games, your fight nights and whatnot. So when you're a sports fan, you love your sports games. And I was sitting there thinking to myself as I was watching this Outside the Lines documentary, to think that all these years have passed and I've been playing all these damn games, having a good time, playing with my brother, playing with my friends, and to think that all these years, none of these athletes receive any money from all these sales of these video games. None of these college students receive a dime from NCAA football, from NCAA basketball. It's unbelievable and so wrong. So let me get this straight. The university receives money because the university used their likeness. The video game uses the university's logo, team colors, and school name, mascot, and school name. So the university receives money for that. Receives money through the sales for the game using their likeness. But at the same time, if the game uses the likeness of the players, which is the main reason why people buy the games, to play with the athletes, to play with the players don't receive a dime, but their likeness is being used as well. The university is receiving money from the game because the game, EA Sports, who creates the game, writes the game, and develops the game, they use the likeness of the university. That university receives money because of the EA Sports using their likeness. They receive funds for that, receive money for it. But at the same time, EA Sports uses the likeness of the players, and the players don't receive a dime. Not only is this insane, not only is this wrong as hell, it makes no logical, rational sense at all. Players should be compensated if their likeness is used on a game. Point blank, period. And for these universities to not be letting these players get and receive the money they deserve, it's just so foul and just disgusting. And then to find out that a lot of these universities have these players, while they're sitting there talking to the players and letting the player know that they're now a Tiger or this university Bobcat, or you're one of us now and you're with the team and all that, as that snaky, sneaky, suit-wearing white boy sits across the table and tells this athlete all these things, they have that athlete signing all kind of contracts and paperwork, where within those contracts and all that paperwork, they sign away their rights to receive any money from the video games for using their likeness. Real snaky and sneaky on behalf of these universities, and you whack-ass white boys at the top that run these universities, you head of departments and directors. Real sneaky and snaky of you to do that to these athletes, many which come from low-income neighborhoods and are broke as hell and need money, especially while they go to college. Real sneaky and snaky. Really just disgusting. These athletes should be compensated, should receive money for their likeness being on these games. Makes no logical, rational sense why they wouldn't. At the same time that you're sitting there telling this athlete he's one of you now and you're a Bobcat now and it's all about the team and you're one of us, as he's signing paperwork, you're screwing him out of money that he well deserves. Unbelievable. These athletes should be compensated for their likeness being on these games, and it's just sad that all these years have went by and they weren't getting anything. Now, me, the way my brain works, my spirit, the way my brain works, being a fucking genius, once I realized they were creating video games and having the likeness of the college players on the games and whatnot, I instantly would have thought to myself, because this is the way I'm thinking now, oh, they're creating a game, that's good. Kind of like a rapper or a singer. When people buy the game, the athlete can get a little money in his pocket as a college student, and get money from the sales of the game. That's good, because these are athletes, citizens of America, citizens in this country, and you need green paper, you need money to survive and thrive in this country. Right now, they're college students, they don't have any source of any way of getting money, they don't have any income. The game selling, them getting some profits from the game sales, is fucking genius. It works great. Puts money in their pocket, it works great. So the athletes will have money in their pocket, and EA Sports will make their money from the customers buying the game. EA Sports, who developed, wrote, in computer language and tech language, writing is developing and creating something. So EA Sports developing, writing, and creating the game deserve their profits from the game sales, and the athletes on the damn game deserve their profits from the game sales. The main reason people are buying the game is to play with the athletes, not to see your universities, your logos, your mascots, and your school colors. That's not the reason the fans buy the game. They buy the game to play with the athletes. Common sense, none but the truth. So the two people that deserves money out of that deal, of that game being sold, is EA Sports, the developers, and the athletes, who are the main draw for people purchasing the game, is to play with the athletes. Point blank, period. Those are the two entities that deserve money out of that deal. The players and the developers, the creators of the game. EA Sports and the athletes. That's it. For you universities to want your little cut because they use your school colors or your school name or your mascot. Really? Really, universities? Really? You're that greedy? All the money you have from donations, all the money you have in your school coffers, you have all this money in your coffers, all these school donations, alumni giving you money. You make all these billions of dollars, or is it millions? You make all this money from ticket sales from the games, which always the arenas and the stadiums are packed full because football is awesome. You make all the money from the ticket sales. You make all the money from people buying your school memorabilia. You make all the money from the people buying tickets to the game, ticket sales. You make all the money from people buying jerseys of the best players on the team and buying team clothing that has your team, your school's name on it. You make all that money from that, and you just couldn't step aside and let the college players make this money off the video game? Really, universities in America? Really? I mean, seriously? You couldn't let the athletes get a little cash for themselves, have a little money in their pocket as college students in America when you know they need green paper to survive? You couldn't let the athletes just have a little bit of money from it? Really? And it's kind of like a rapper or a music artist who sells an album and gets money from the album sales. Because people purchase the album because that artist is on the album. They don't purchase the album because of the color of because of the colors on the outside or because of the name of the album. They purchase the album to hear that artist and their music. It's the same thing with these video games. You purchase these video games as a long-time purchaser of said video games. You purchase the games to play with the players. That's it. Not because I want to see certain universities' names or logos or colors. That's not why we buy the games. We buy the games to play with the athletes. Point blank, period. These athletes are well deserving of the money that they deserve. They should be getting compensated and paid for these games. It's just unbelievable. But you universities, you couldn't just let that be a college player thing. Oh, EA Sports creating the game? Oh, well, hey, that's great. They're putting our players on the game? Okay, well, great. Then the players should get money from that. That's what instantly pops in my mind when I think about that. But for you universities to want to suck the money from that and make sure the athletes get nothing, and then sneak and snake and have these athletes sign away their rights to receive any money from these games, it's just filthy and disgusting. It really is. It's just filthy and disgusting. I mean, right up Esau, right up their alley. Right up their alley. Very sneaky, snaky, backstabbing. That's right up your alley. But the fact that you do it, it's just disgusting. It really is. I love this player lawsuit by these players. They deserve money from this. From all these years, they received nothing. It's just sick and sad. It really is. College student, no money in their pocket, broke, no money. Really? Really, universities? All that money you get from donations and store it up in your bank and your little coffers, you just couldn't let the athletes get the money? You really couldn't? You're that greedy? Do athletes deserve to get paid in college? Hell yes. And do athletes deserve to get paid from these video games, where the makers of these video games use these athletes' likeness to create the video games? Absolutely they do. I love you athletes for launching this lawsuit, and it's funny. Now there's some white boys that put their name on the petition to launch this lawsuit. Now it's getting media coverage. It kind of got covered by Real Sports. Forgot the guy that hosts the show, but it kind of got covered by him when Ed O'Bannon from UCLA launched this lawsuit. But it really wasn't pushed that hard, but now more athletes are getting on it, and now it's getting more attention. Good thing though, I want more athletes to sign their name to this. Athletes should get paid from these video games when these games are directly and definitely using these athletes' likeness. I love these games, so I don't want them to stop making them. I love them, but these athletes deserve some money from this. Point blank, period. It's just the common sense, logical, rational thing to do. And the fact that it hasn't been done already is just sickening. Really, universities in America? Really?